What's Blazing Dragon Ninjas? So I made a Pokemon roller coaster, and it is some mid, so let me go in and explain why. So it started with me making the shape of the roller coaster. This was a very easy task. I wanted to make the roller coaster really lightweight, so I ended up using this, I think it's an insulator. You use the insulator to make the shape since it's very light and it'll be easy to carry around. This was kind of a mistake, but then again, it wasn't too bad since I had a solution for it immediately. Since the solution was very lightweight, it wasn't very durable, so I obviously came in with a quick solution, that being resin and cardboard, my go-to. So I used resin and cardboard and it easily just bulked it up, gave it some strength, and it wasn't really wilting and wavering like a wonky castle. And now here we just got some simple painting footage. Me just painting everywhere. I painted the whole thing white as a base because obviously when you paint stuff white, it's easier to put other colors on top and they'll show actually more of the actual true color that you're trying to put on top of the white. So it's a base coat I'm putting on. And now on to the actual problem of all of this. For the track, I started with cardboard because I tried I-beams before, and I-beams had a lot of friction, but were not very malleable. Cardboard was very malleable, and I thought it was gonna work. And then cardboard, I figured out, has too much friction, so it just would not get the marble rolling fast enough for it to actually go throughout the track. So I gave up on cardboard. I did use these plastic I-beams. They were terrible and the worst to work with, but I then realized that actually, at the end of my project, that all you needed was really heat and then you can bend it into shape. But at the time we didn't know, it was literally impossible to work with. We couldn't glue it, so we gave up on the plastic I-beam. And then while we were struggling, we went back to the metal I-beam, and it was still really hard to work with, but we needed to do something somehow. So me being like Kratos from God of War, I called upon Ares to give me the strength.
Ares! Destroy my enemies, and my life is yours.
I needed to really bend this I-beam into shape. If I couldn't, then this project is cooked. When I was trying to bend it, it got me screaming like Kratos. I was like, Atreus, Ares! So I tried my best and I did manage to bend it into shape, and it worked once. And I was just like, yes, now we have something. So I got a second I-beam thinking that I could weld the two together, and boy, that did not work. So I gave up on that also, and we figured out with my group mates that I had baby guardrails, and baby guardrails are just really simple to work with, but the issue is that you needed a lot of space to get the ball rolling, and we thought of a compensation to just use the I-beam and mix it with the baby guardrail. Here's some footage of the first time the metal I-beam rail works. On the camera. Hey, there we go. That's what I wanted to show. That's good. With the first part of the track done, I now combined the metal I-beam with the baby guardrail, and I got this, and now I can work on the design. But just the other I-beam just felt like a waste to me that we couldn't really use it and incorporate it. So I just thought, since this is already kind of plain and boring to my expectations, I thought of adding a second track for the Met Marble. And it took a while to get to work, but eventually I made it have 3 loops and a thunderbolt at the end to represent Pikachu. So I'm glad it worked. It did have a little bit of inconsistencies, but hey, I'm not complaining. Here's some footage of the first track working. Alright, so now we go on to the hellish ugly design. This was a really big hassle. Obviously, it's due to the fact that we were working on the track for so long. So much trial and error. You only have such a limited amount of time for the actual design of it. Obviously, since we're working on the track for so long, my group mates, some of them tried, some of them I guess didn't. But with all that work, they couldn't stay at my house to help me do this project. So in the end, I was left with all the designing on my own, and I had to do this in many hours. It was overnight. I had to work overnight. Luckily, my class was 4th period, so to work on this and finish it, I skipped all my other classes, unfortunately. Luckily, there's not much happening on the other classes those days, but With all that work, I worked on the design. I had to paint it and make sure it dried while also designing the clay parts and also designing the Pokemon logo. Doing all these stuff on your own is definitely not easy. I was up all night and it was a really bad hassle to do, but I pulled through at the end. Since I didn't have much time to give in detail, I couldn't even finish Snorlax on time. I still wish there was more I could have added, but I'm still proud of my Rayquaza and how it stood up still. The Mega Charizard Y, the best Charizard by the way, is still a bit wonky if you look at it from the front. That's why I never took a picture from it directly at the front. It was very wonky. The side profile is really good though. And the Pikachu also looks cursed. So, you know, that's what happens when you have a very limited amount of time. And obviously I'm glad that the main focus, like the actual function, worked better. The design comes second anyway. So, hey, that is kind of a win. Now some video footage of both working at school. And that's to sum up the whole project. And obviously, like, the footage was kind of limited because sometimes when you're full with stress and stuff, and this whole project and that late night run, I had no time to record. I forgot sometimes, so I still hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to burn the like button, subscribe, and later, Dragon Ninjas.